What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 82 of Lured Up, a podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is June 9th, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my two co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator. Hello, friends.
Hi, that's me.
Oh, man, I'm still here.
You're still here?
You made it.
You made
Adam.
it. You did it.
I know I made it. I could have been at a Newfound Glory concert, but I was like,
don't tell
podcast.
JC. Don't tell JC.
Yeah, right? No, and
like-
real friends, I'm kind of sad a little bit.
Wow.
Oh, you just have your Digi friends.
But my
today.
friends over you, right? That's
All right, well, we're not alone. We do have a friend with us today. We're joined
exactly.
by IAMRYZN. What's
What's
going
up,
on,
guy?
dude? How are you?
Hello, I'm super
Hello.
excited to be here.
Yeah, man.
Well,
We're
Thanks
you're
for
to have
excited.
you.
I'm excited. Melissa's finally excited.
She's real. It's real. It's real.
I've got a lot of coffee.
Yo, I bought her 3 coffees today, at least.
No.
I got you 3.
I only drank 2 of them.
What?
But that caramel
Yo, she
macchiato
was just she went straight white girl today, and she was like, I need to order a caramel macchiato.
just for shits and giggles
That's
to say
literally
in my
the only
life.
reason. That was literally the only reason. She's like, I just got to say I ordered it. And it was foul.
It wasn't good.
It was gross. Little housekeeping really quick before we get into the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons, Brittany, Jay, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, Poke Nabbot, Purple Pancakes, Them Gears Be Bangin', and Lady Goobly Meat. Thank you guys so very much.
You guys are the best and
really
so much
are.
fun.
We
And a
love
huge
you.
shout out to Justin for joining at the Discord tier this week. Thank you so much.
What, Justin?
I know. And all right, on today's show, we're going to get to know IAMRYZN. We're going to recap Adventure Week. It's still going. By the time you hear this, it'll be wrapping up. But this has been a busy week for a lot of trainers. I know a lot of people put in some pretty significant hours this week, so we'll break into that. Slakoth Community Day was this weekend. Legendary raid hours were pretty much announced the minute we hit stop of recording last week, so we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we'll finally do some Go Fest prep, because guys,
It's
Go Fest
happening.
is next week.
Oh my
It's
God.
real.
When?
It's fucking next week, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I don't even have my
happening.
bags packed.
Did you buy a plane ticket yet?
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the podcast.
Adam's
short
walking
answer is
from
no.
New Hampshire. All right.
Procrastination.
I'm writing the ship. All right, IAMRYZN, man. What's going on, man? How are you? Thank you so much for coming on the show. Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself, tell us about your channels, your brand, your community, anything like that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm like I said, I'm super excited to be on here. My name's IAMRYZN, and I've been making Pokemon Go content since about day 0. You know, right as it came out, I was on Instagram and trying to figure out what that meant. Started to see like a lot of YouTubers, and then really wanted to kind of spread the Instagram love. And so I've been on there for a while, and I love it. I love Pokemon, and it was a really cool way to get back into the game, back into creating a community. Now I'm on, we have Instagram. We have, I also create content for Wizards Unite, which is coming out soon. Who knows?
I must say, you are probably the most wizard-looking motherfucker I've ever seen, too, man. Like, you fit the part, dude.
Dumbledore.
You are very wizardly.
Thank you. I think you're referring to my beard.
Yes, it's of legend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to take care of it for sure. It's fun. But yeah, so I've been creating content for Wizards Unite Pokemon Go. It's way fun. We just created a Discord, which we've been getting people in. And I have enamel pins, actually.
What?
So I've been making
nice.
enamel pin designs. I'm an illustrator. I went to school for drawing and illustration and design, and so I wanted to bring that
Nice.
into my content creation. And so starting in October, I started doing illustrations on my channel, and had then my community vote for which ones they liked. And they don't even know this, but this is hot news off the press.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I'm getting the pins actually tomorrow, which would be the Monday before Go Fest.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Oh, legit.
So you're
Nice.
gonna have them at Go Fest?
Yep, bringing them to Go Fest.
Yes.
Nobody knows.
Sweet.
Nobody knows.
Now
Well,
they
we know.
Yep.
I know.
Tuesday, everyone will know.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's really good. And let's talk about the details of Go here. What team are you on? What's your favorite way to play the game?
Sure.
I know this is a loaded question. Your favorite Pokemon,
Sure.
maybe your favorite Pokemon of the day.
Sure.
That kind of stuff. What team are you on?
Yeah, so I'm on Team Instinct. I picked that team. A bunch of my friends, before the game came out, we all said, hey, we want to be on the same team, and we voted in a chat. I'm probably one of two people that still play. So when the game first came out, we had a really strong Instinct group, and we're one of the only areas that could hold down all of the gyms when the game
Wow.
Nice.
first
Yeah,
came
that's
out.
usually the impossible
opposite,
task.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. But we had so many in our area, and we were much more connected than any of the other groups when it first came out. So it was so much fun. We would literally, our gym would go down, and we'd like chat each other and be like, "Go there, we're going there. Okay, let's go boost it up." So those are some.
It's
fun.
1:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Guys, wake up! We got a
Bro,
gym to take back.
That's how the Valor group was in Jersey Shore, man. We used to sweep like Long Branch, New Jersey. We would go out like super late and take everybody out, and people would wake up pissed because they'd have no
seriously.
coins.
No, it's serious. Like I made a route where I would get up at like, I mean, this isn't really early for some people, but I'd be like hitting the gyms at like 6 a.m, 7 a.m, taking
Hey,
back.
it's still early.
Yeah. So it was way fun. But yeah, Instinct. Favorite Pokemon. I mean, so I started with, Red back in the day, and
Yes,
Charmander
yes.
is definitely, it was the first Pokemon I think you choose is just always has a place in your heart, at least for
Sure.
me.
Mm,
And so Charmander and Charizard they're just always there, right?
yes.
You can't go wrong.
Gen
You
1,
can't go
man.
wrong.
Yep.
What do you think of Leon, the champion of Sword and Shield, rocking a Charizard? It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, Andy's the flyest dressed dude ever. So
Bro, we
Yes.
were making. Adam and I recorded a little like a direct bonus episode that I got to put out, this week. But I said it almost looked like someone hit the randomizer button when you create a character, because he's got like these crazy clothes that like kind of don't work, but they kind of do, and this ridiculous cape. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
He's super fly though. He's super awesome.
Yeah,
And what's your favorite way to play? What are you into? You into raiding, gymming, PvP, shiny hunting? How's it work for you?
pretty much do everything right now. I do the big raid days, so I'll go and I'll hit. I have a group of people where we'll hit, I don't know, 30 to 50 raids in 3 hours.
Sick.
Which is awesome and fun. And we're chasing the shinies. And then I'll shiny hunt also all the time, kind of looking or go plussing. And then don't really do gyms anymore. That was big in the beginning. Now, sadly, I feel like gyms are, I don't want to. They're not
Waste
as
of time.
Yeah. not a lot.
Melissa's the same way. She doesn't do shit,
Yep, waste
and then
of
she
time.
complains that she has no coins. It's
I
like we
got
gotta put.
Yeah.
I'll drop 'em in there,
she'll
yeah.
If the
snipe a
stamina
gym.
is at 0 and I can take 1 to 4 Pokemon, it's worth it. But if there's 6 in there and I'm just like, it's just too much time.
Yeah.
I still love it. I still love that grind. It's like I just want to ruin someone's fucking day because they're like,
Ew.
oh shit,
Sure.
I got Snorlax in here, Blissey, Slacking. I'm like, those are the gyms I go after because I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, because I want to
Jerk.
piss them off. Hell yeah, that's my gym. That's my gym. This is
My
Starbucks.
favorite time was when we were at Philly Free Streets,
right?
because the second you dropped anything into those gyms, it was like a madhouse. It was
Yeah.
just instantly.
It was a scramble.
Somebody would take it over. It would be that color gym, and then boom, 6 Pokemon just instantly.
It would be impossible to get it in because it was just in a this gym is under attack or there's no more room. Like we kept getting errors because the turnover was just bananas. But that's cool, man. That's cool to see that you're kind of go hard on the raid days. I mean, I think that's become a pretty significant part of end game players, daily routines is, looking for these opportunities to go hard and giggity. And when the opportunity presents itself, going for it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, my group did like 6.
Well, still, dude.
We
but
took
you-
a very
but-
casual
but you're
approach to it.
rural.
I know.
Your gyms are spread out.
Our-
It's like
it's hard because so we have a really we have a strong casual community, and then we have a pretty good, like, very hardcore community. And so I run one of our instinct groups, and I kind of had to be like, hey guys, I'm not gonna like. The instinct group is really casual now, and so I kind of had to step away and be like, can someone else like help run this casual thing, because it was just creating kind of friction. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go raid with these guys for this day because this is what I want to do, and I don't want to force everyone to try to be what I want to do. You know, it's just,
Dude,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
that happened with me last week during Legendary Dinner Hour, or now it's just called Legendary Raid Hour. I went out and, you know, I took a back seat to the people that were organizing it in the Discord, and it's like, you know, I wanted to like drop the second the first gym popped, and it's just like, you know, 6 minutes go by, and it's like me and a couple of my buddies are all like, you know, shaking our legs like, I want to get in, and it's like everyone's just kind of like chilling, hanging out. It's like, man, it's a totally different vibe, but you know, sometimes you got to go with the flow. But I feel that definitely.
Yeah, it's true.
What's your history with Pokemon prior to Go? I mean, you do, when I'm looking at your Instagram, you know, you've got some pretty diverse content up there. And whenever I see people putting out content that has Gen 5 or newer, I'm like, oh, this is more than Pokemon Go.
Yeah, the channel really started with Pokemon Go, but then I'm always trying to think as a content creator, how can this have a longevity? And how can I also not just become totally burnt out with what I'm creating and what I'm doing, and then my community also not get burnt out? And so I've been trying to, over a couple of years, add in more and more content. And so I think it's healthier as far as the community that I'm trying to build. So yeah, I do everything from the movies. I've watched all the movies. I started with Red back in the day, Pokemon Red. I had two of my best friends. They're still currently my best friends, and they are Japanese. And so they actually brought over this crack candy Pokemon from Japan, straight from Japan. They showed me these cards, and I was like, what is this? And they showed me how to play this game. And that was before America had the TV show, the video games, or anything. And so
you got to jump.
Yep.
Nice.
So I had a kind of a kick start there in the beginning and really loved it. And so then once the TV show came on, I was watching that. What was that? I don't know. It was like WB or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was like 6 a.m. my time. My dad would be like, what are you doing up? Like, you're not normally up. And I'm just like sitting in front of the TV at 6 a.m, like watching 30 minutes of, Ash trying to catch a Caterpie. It's just
Ash losing at the Pokemon League for years.
Yeah, exactly.
Him actually not battling anyone for multiple episodes at a time.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing, but it was fun. That's actually where you talked about my favorite Pokemon, but my guilty pleasure Pokemon is Krabby, because of the cartoon. In the cartoon, he battles in the league, and Krabby actually beats an Executor by clamping its claw onto its hair, and then it beats that, and then it evolves into a Kingler. So Kingler is my, that's my guilty pleasure right there. Is that form.
Nice.
But yeah, so I started way back in the day. I fell off after Gen 2 in the video games. So that's silver and platinum and silver or something like that.
Yeah.
Or gold. Sorry, silver and gold.
Gold, silver, then platinum.
So I played those, and then I kind of fell off. I was always interested in it, but it just I don't know. I was a teenager, and I don't know. I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy and stuff back then.
Yeah, you got too cool for it for a minute.
Yeah, look,
and then you come back. It happens.
But that's the fun. That's the beauty of it, is when you do decide to come back too. You're welcome. It's like, come on back to the homeland.
You took a hard break and we came back harder than ever.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I took a hard break and came back during high school, and I got thrown right into premier events and tournaments for the TCG, and ever since then I haven't stopped.
It's awesome.
Well, that's the best. But you mentioned Instagram, and that's kind of something I want to dig into, because we've had a shitload of YouTubers on. We've had different creators in the podcast space, but most of them are really in the YouTube space. Now, when I found you, it was through Instagram. And you said that when you first started, you kind of focused on that platform. And that's kind of what I wanted to dig into a little bit, because what really motivated you to develop your audience through Instagram? Because that's not something that typically when we have, guests on, that's their main platform. So I'm definitely intrigued by that. What kind of interested you so much about Instagram?
So I have been on Instagram for a long time. I actually don't know how many years, but this is a really long time. And since it came out, and have always enjoyed the community on Instagram and the content on Instagram. It's really quick, but I think generally good contents, there's a lot of thought behind it, where sometimes, and this is not to like dog any other platform or anything, but sometimes like a YouTube video and whatnot, or just longer form content, even podcasts and different things, can kind of go on, right? And they can,
Sure. Yeah.
There's like a couple nuggets, but like, oh, it lasts for 10 minutes. And it's like, okay. Like I like that 1 minute. And so for me, Instagram is really cool because you just got that 1 minute nugget, right? Or that one image. And that's like the gold. And so I just loved focusing on that small, short content. And then there wasn't anyone really on Instagram for a long time. And there still aren't a lot of people promoting video games on Instagram, which I think is a big mistake. I think maybe they just don't know how to do it, or they don't dedicate to it. And so then it just kind of doesn't work for them. So I was just like, didn't see anyone on there. And I was like, well, there's already a bunch of YouTubers. So maybe I'll just go on this platform, see if people are there and if people are interested in it, and see if I can grow that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's really, when I was kind of first initially found you, and then you do like the cyber stalk where you just kind of scroll through all the past content and everything, and the first thing I noticed was like, this dude's so freaking excited. Like, I always crack up and I always laugh of like the YouTube thumbnail O face, you know what I mean? Like the excitement. Yeah. And it's like, I love that shit because it's, really, really funny. But I'm scrolling through and I'm like, you just look like you're having so much fun. And I mean, that's got to be the secret sauce, because like you said, there's not a lot of people that use Instagram as their main platform. It's typically the salt and pepper to a different platform, or, a companion to a different platform. So when it comes to, people putting out specific content for Instagram, they're usually in the entertainment space, not necessarily in a gaming or niche space. So what is really, your trick to engagement here? Because your posts have hundreds of engagements, and it's like, man, this is a consistent thing. And then I'm looking at the way you break out your stories. And, as someone that's a little bit naive to the way, Instagram really works in terms of audience acquisition, what's the difference between the way you look at posts versus stories? Because I see what you're doing with your stories, and it's really cool.
This is a difficult question in general, right? Like, how does content work, right? I could just say, just be yourself, right? Which is true. Like, you want to be genuine, but there also is maybe some stair-stepping things that people can work through and work on. One of those things is, I believe, niche communities are people in those communities are always on the precipice. They're always on the edge of wanting to talk more about that thing, right? And so in my content, I'm not just speaking, at least I try not to be just like speaking to you and being like, hey, this is this thing, like follow me, I'm cool or whatever, right?
Right.
Not try to be that, but try to be like, we're doing this together. I say like we a lot, I feel like sometimes, maybe too much, or like we're doing this, or I'm here with us, or whatever. And so it's engaging a community. And then I'm always asking people questions. And that's where the engagement on Instagram is always asking a question with a post, because I believe that we're all just kind of waiting for the opportunity to really share. I got 25 shinies. Oh my goodness. I got 0 shinies. I got like all people just love, they love talking about that stuff. And I want to help them talk about that stuff. Right. So that's kind of one of my main things is allowing a space for people to talk. And then I always try to, as best I can, it's been hard as you grow. It gets really hard when you have hundreds and thousands of comments on a post to talk back to people. But I try to at least engage with some of the content as much as I can, which I think, creates that genuine, like I actually care what you're saying,
Sure,
I'm not just trying to like get you to press like or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes across in your content because, even when the cool stuff that you do with AR, and we work with a lot of AR artists and people that put their heart and blood and soul into like creating this one perfect image, and then I'm watching like one of your stories and you're just kind of like spinning the camera around selfie mode, like dancing with the Pokemon in the background. I'm like, this is so refreshing. This is like, it's so natural. It's not like most of the other stuff that's out there, and it is really different. And I think that that's kind of inherent in someone that takes Instagram with a different kind of perspective than if it was just a companion to other content. That's really intriguing, man. That's really cool. And I think that providing that kind of environment for people to engage and create a platform for communication is freaking awesome, because I love talking shop about Pokemon. It brings me a lot of joy to just be able to shoot the shit, and doing that with people that are just as passionate is a good time. So that's awesome, man. Good on you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken, because you were amazing for bringing us all together. Ken brought me in.
Yeah, man.
Because he saw how passionate I was.
I stole Adam from, I used to run a community for a company called Toys for Games. We did, it was Toys to Life video games like Skylanders and Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions. I was freaking big in that. And Adam was like, he was like a main pillar of that community. And so when I needed someone for this, it was like, cool. Hey, I know someone who's into Pokemon. It was awesome. That's cool. But no, that's great, man. That's cool. And the Wizards Unite thing, I think, is on the verge of absolutely exploding. I mean, they're putting out more content on the daily almost, coming here. When do you think this thing is going to drop for us?
Oh, man. I hope it drops in at least 2 weeks. There's been more communication, and we're hoping that it drops. They kind of invited some content creators to LA for a special Wizards Unite event on June 18th, and so I don't know that it will be released by then, but I hope it releases soon after. Yeah.
I think that'll be their 1-2 punch. I think that it'll be GoFest, then the dust will settle from GoFest, and everyone will kind of, have some time to recuperate, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, hey, now that you've just gotten through mayhem with GoFest and whatever worldwide, global events they put out for the GoFest thing, now here's Harry Potter, download this shit, and here we go again.
Start spending money, people. Let's go.
No, honestly, I do think that probably makes a lot of sense with the timeline, because when I remember, and I'm hardcore, man. Like, if it was up to me, I'd play this game, 10 hours a day. But I remember getting back from GoFest last year, and it was like, I'm fucking burnt. Like, I'm shot.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch my phone.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like, but I have to log in. I have to spin the stop. I have to catch a Pokemon.
Yeah, but then now figure doing that, and then Harry Potter comes out, and it's like, I gotta try it. Like,
I'm
man,
doomed. I'm never gonna see you again.
Oh no, it's look. It's not. I'm not. I mean, I love the movies. I've read the books, but I'm not like.
Keep telling me that.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the gameplay? Because the betas.
I have.
Okay.
I've watched Zoe 2 Dots.
Zoe
I've
2
watched
Dots,
all her videos, and it looks fantastic. It looks amazing. I think one of the things that interests me a lot about the game is just seeing the tech that's behind it and how that could kind of trickle its way back to Pokemon Go. Yeah. Because with some of the way the AR is used, and with, some of the real time battling with NPCs, I'm like, I drool over that stuff when it comes to like where that could, how that can be with Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do, man? Like, how are you gonna split your time? Are you gonna 2-phone it?
I mean, I already 2-phone it, so like, yes, I will definitely. I'm already a 2-phoner with live streaming and playing generally, so no, I'll definitely have 2 phones. I'm hoping that I'll be able to go plus stuff and have Wizards Unite open. So that's what I'm
definitely,
hoping.
Work the system.
I mean, I was even doing that with Ingress for a little bit. When I was trying to get my level up in Ingress, it was like, all right, I'll put Pokemon Go to the back right now. I'll just go plus, and I'll keep Ingress on the phone. And it's like, then I would find myself coming back to Pokemon Go, and I was like, I can't do this. I go, this is too hard. I can't do it. It's like,
I was trying that with Draconius Go.
Oh,
Oh
stop
God.
it, Adam.
Oh my God.
Always, dude. He like
Stupid
won't let this
Capone.
die.
I
He won't let
know.
that joke die. It's just. I'm
Forever.
telling you, it's gonna be like we're gonna be hanging out with our grandkids, and you'll be like, "Oh, that Draconius gold. I wonder if he's still in the gym."
I'm still in that gym.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
mean, the crazy thing is not Wizards Unite is not the only. I don't know how much you follow other AR, like the AR games in general, but it is not the only big AR game coming out this year. And so the field of good AR games is going to start getting pretty full. And so it will be very interesting to see how Niantic acts to that, and how they change Pokemon Go, and also how they continue to change Harry Potter. Because I was having a conversation today, and since Harry Potter hasn't went global yet, and these other games are also approaching their launch dates, they're kind of losing. They're tightening their window of getting people hooked into their game. So yeah, it'll be quite
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens, because I think there's a Men in Black game that's coming out, which I don't have super high hopes for, but it's a franchise people like, and I could totally see it being kind of interesting.
I am gassed up about Minecraft Earth.
Yes, so
I am
that's the big
freaking
one.
gassed.
So
That's gonna be huge.
I think Minecraft is going to be huge. It's super interesting, like how you can build and place things in different places. They also supposedly in the demo have it figured out where I can step in front of things and it cuts me out, which is huge.
Occlusion.
Especially since Niantic kind of came out and said that's not possible on this on 4G or whatever we currently have.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if that actually works. But that's the big one there for me is the Minecraft will be quite interesting. And then Dragon Quest is going to be, I think, only right now released in Japan. But that potentially has that's quite interesting. It looks like it has a real RPG or JRPG style of fighting, which I think would be interesting. So I don't know. There's a lot coming for sure.
I played that for a bit. I played the Ghostbusters game.
Sorry.
I played Jesus Christ Go.
Oh my God, that was funny. That was good.
That's real, bro. I still have it on my phone.
Is that real?
It was actually put out, and I shit you not, by the Vatican. It's an official Vatican property. It's all in Italian, but yes, you go around.
He just says
it's really, dude. I had to try it. I had to try it.
Oh, that's so good.
My son
Listen,
plays
my brother
Jurassic
still
World
has
every day.
that's
Jurassic
World, and he loves it.
The PvP in Jurassic World, the matchmaking system is phenomenal, really absolutely phenomenal. And that's like got to be like when I played Walking Dead, the communication and like clan building system that's in there was awesome. I was like, man, if they could take some of this, dropping flares, letting people come to your flares, I go, holy shit, this is the remote raid. This is how they get around spoofing. I go, this could be, I need people at this raid. Let me drop a flare. People on my team would then see it and say, hey, come to this location. And boom, they're there in the event with you. And then Jurassic World had this amazing matchmaking where the latency is nominal because it's real time, but it still kind of works in like a turn-based kind of asynchronous method. But it works really, really well where the action does not seem slow or down in any way. I was like, man, if they brought this into the matchmaking into Pokemon Go, and it's like I like this because innovation drives motivation. You know what I mean? I want all this stuff to come out. I want people to do better. And the odd part too is Niantic's real world platform is probably going to be powering a lot of this shit on the back end anyway. So it's like, it's kind of weird to see how ultimately all these third-party developers that are ultimately using Niantic's real world platform will just be able to trickle things back to them. Kind of like how Unreal with the Unreal Engine, there's so many games that are built on the Unreal Engine, and then ultimately all those the technologies that each of these third parties is using, it just makes its way back and everybody grows from it. So I'm freaking gassed up on that. That's great. But
yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's really interesting, and I hope we start to learn more from each other. And so I come from the tech industry, and that's my day job is working in a tech company, and so I believe that
Sure.
more people in the space brings better products. And so I think competition brings better products, and we need more competition. Niantic needs to get a little fire under their butt and be like, hey, we're not the only people in this space. So one reason I actually like the Walking Dead game is because you can play that game anywhere. You can be in a rural place and play that game. Pokemon Go
Yeah.
still hasn't figured that out, and that is just unacceptable. Um, it's disheartening that they're still on the beta. It's kind of crazy, but it was cool picking up The Walking Dead, and I was at out in the country at a gas station while I was driving to Chicago one time, and I was like just thinking, and I was like, I wonder if I could play Wizard or The Walking Dead out here, and I could. Where Pokemon Go, there was like 3 Pokemon. That's it, right? So it'll be interesting to see how the whole scene changes. And honestly, I'm good with things being overthrown and version 2 of things coming out are just different and better products. Not that I hope any of this comes to an end anytime soon, but I hope we can learn and grow from each other and from these other products.
Hell yeah, awesome.
It'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely.
So before, as we wrap things up here, what do you think? Where do you want your brand to take you? Because with the release of Sword and Shield, I mean, are you going to be covering that? I mean, how with other AR games coming out, like, are you going to diversify outside of Niantic with Pokemon and Wizards Unite, like beyond that, or you kind of think that that's going to be enough to keep you real busy for a bit?
It'll definitely keep me busy for a bit. So I streamed 40 plus hours of Pokemon Let's Go when that came out, and so I'm like one of the only few people who I don't know of anyone else who live streamed that on Instagram. And so I live stream myself playing Pokemon Let's Go on Instagram, and I will do that with Sword and Shield.
See that's cool, man. That's really cool.
Yep. I'm really trying to push the platform beyond what people think it can be used for, and cool. really stretch it, because I think there is a rich community of people who enjoy this content, and they're just not given the opportunity to see it. And so, I'll be
because they're
for sure
on Instagram, scrolling, and then if you go live, you get an alert saying, "Hey, you're going live."
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But so I'll be live streaming Sword and Shield for sure. That's gonna be way fun. I think I'm gonna do a Nuzlocke.
Hell yeah.
Not sure if that's a term a lot of people know, but essentially it's just like you put rules on yourself. Like if a Pokemon faints, you can't use it anymore ever in the game, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So I'm gonna create some custom Nuzlocke rules, which will make it fun.
Out of the gate, you're gonna do that, dude? That's crazy.
He's giving himself a challenge, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's great.
Now, what's your setup look like when you're doing this for Instagram?
I'm also at that same time streaming to YouTube. And so what I do is I set it up all on my computer, because you currently can't stream those games straight to Instagram. So what I do is I set all those things up on my computer, and then I bring the computer screen with my face and some of the game above it or below it. And then I have a stand for my phone, and I have my phone just looking at my computer screen. And then I go live.
Hell yeah. It's like guerrilla warfare.
And you have to keep, reinstating live, correct? Because it only can do so much?
Yes.
Okay.
Once an hour, it closes. So Instagram only allows you to stream for 1 hour, and then you have to restart the stream. Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just curious.
That's awesome though, man, because you're pushing the platform and you're doing things on there that are unique, and I think that's going to be awesome for not only gaining new audience but keeping them there, because you're doing things that are definitely unique to the platform. You're pushing it forward, man. So that's really awesome. But I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Thank you. I learned a lot, and I'm glad to have you on. I hopefully we could hook up in Chicago.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely. We'll be looking for one of those
pins from you. Hell yeah. Adam is a pin fiend. So
I am too.
Yeah, Melissa too. Don't get her started on Disney pins.
Yeah,
oh
stop.
Man, it's bad. It's bad. There's many cork boards scattered around the house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's awesome.
But where's
hilarious.
the best place for our community to find you? I mean, I'll put links to everywhere you are in our description, but I'd imagine you want us to send people to Instagram, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm on Instagram at IAMRYZN, IAMRYZN. I'm also on YouTube at IAMRYZN. And so YouTube, we didn't talk about this much, but YouTube is the platform I'm trying to focus on for Wizards Unite. So I've been creating at least one video a week for YouTube for Wizards Unite. I also post that on my Wizards Unite channel. And so IAMRYZN's my main channel on Instagram, and then for Wizards Unite content, it's IAMWizards Unite.
Nice.
That's my Wizards Unite
Hell
channel.
yeah, that's a good name.
But yeah,
Smart.
YouTube is mixed. It's both content, and so like on YouTube, I also do PvP tournaments every month. We live stream those, and those are all on IAMRYZN. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram and YouTube would be awesome. I would really appreciate the ad on both of those platforms. And then I'm also on Twitter at the same name, IAMRYZN. I'm always talking people up on Twitter and sharing the love.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Definitely, we'll send people your way.
I'll put links to everywhere that we can find you. I'll put them in the description. Definitely make sure you check out IAMRYZN everywhere. Give them that like, give them the sub. And yeah, man, got to support good people.
Follow.
Man, it's good stuff. But thanks again for coming on, man. We'll definitely hook up in Chicago. And everyone else will be back in just a moment after these fine jams. No, you know what? I'm going to play a nice song from Maddie F. Baby that sent us a voicemail with a little jingle. Take it away, Maddie F. Baby.
1, 2, 3, join Load Up podcast with me. 4, 5, 6, I like talking about topics. Oh, this park is lit like crazy. Oh, my legs are feeling lazy. Pokeball flex.
And we're back.
Oh my freaking goodness. Pokeball flex.
Flex.
Maddie F. Baby is my favorite.
I'm learning that song.
I love him so much.
Now we are
Mad.
indebted to him forever.
I'm learning. Oh.
So we're driving, right?
Legs are feeling lazy.
And Joshua, my 10-year-old son, actually wanted to go raiding today, which is great because he's been off the Pokemon Go thing for a long time, actually since the whole thing went down with friends, and because he's on a kid account through Pokemon Trainer Club,
It left him salty.
And he hasn't really been playing. So he actually wanted to go raiding today. And when I showed him the Pokeball Flex Maddie F. Baby video a couple months ago, or however long ago it was, it's just been an ongoing joke that we've said in our house, like just constantly. And we were watching it, like as we were driving, he kept putting it on. We were freaking rolling in the car. I think he even commented on the video. He was like, "Bro, I love it." He goes, "I'm obsessed."
He does it all the time
I know.
in the house.
And then I told him, I go, "Yeah, man, I had him on the podcast, when we did the roundtable." And he goes, "You know this guy?" I was like, "Hell yeah, bro. That's Maddie F. Baby. He's my dog." It's great. So good. Maddie, thank you so much for the jingle, man. So good. So good. All right. Like I said at the top of the show, a couple things we're going to cover here. Adventure Week, we'll talk about that. Slakoth Community Day, Legendary Raid Hours, and then we'll talk about some GoFest prep before some miscellaneous news. But let's talk about Adventure Week, guys. How was it for everybody? Adam, you've been playing like a mo-bucker, huh?
I have. I also went for a really long run. I said, Niantic, your mess up with Adventure Sync will not get me. I will hit 50K. And as of right now, I think I'm at like 60.
Yes!
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
But this is the first time that I have a bunch of incubators. I have a bunch of eggs on the verge of hatching. So after the podcast, I need to get out. I need to walk up and down the road for a little bit and hatch some eggs. So I have some room, and then I won't open up any friend gifts. And then when 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm going to rake in those rewards.
Yeah, well, make sure you drop a star piece at 5 of, so that way you get your
Listen, I gotta set
bonus.
that.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of tasks that are already just waiting for me to catch them, so
yes.
I was going to maximize my Stardust intake.
All right, just to recap, in case you've been living under a rock, Get it?
Dun-dun.
This event will be ending on Tuesday the 11th, so just as you're hearing this, it'll be wrapping up. We had increased rock spawns, hatches, raids, and research, shiny, onyx, laleep, anorith. There's a bunch of other random spawns that are from the rock type families that were,
Larvitar,
Larvitar. I was seeing Shuckle.
Kabuto.
Yeah, lots of stuff like that was floating around. You got 10 times XP for new Pokestops, so if you're running a lucky egg and you spun a new stop, it was 4,100 XP, which was huge. We had
That's nuts.
quadruple buddy candy. Now, when we recorded last week, there was some issues with Adventure Sync, right? With the 0.145.0. So, they soft released 145.1, right? But what happened was when it updated, it turned people's Adventure Sync off.
Womp, womp, womp.
So people didn't know that their game auto-updated to 145.1 and could have been playing for a day or two, and they weren't getting any credit for Adventure Sync distance because it actually was turned off. They fucked up. It was bad. So, even though it wasn't good. So what Niantic said was to make up for this, they're going to be extending the Adventure Week distance bonus, the 50K bonus, where you were getting 50,000 Stardust and 15 rare candy if you hit 50K. They're going to be doing that part, not the spawns, but just that portion of it again next week, which is great news for anyone going to GoFest, because we're all going to be walking our asses off.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much all going to be, if you're going to GoFest, you're going to be hitting the 50K bonus, which is pretty awesome. So that was the recap of the event, right? So Sylph Road put together the shiny rates of the event Pokemon. They did over 30,000 encounters for Laleep and Anorith. They had over 3,300 encounters for Onyx. It came down to this. Onyx was available 1 in 75. And then Laleep and Anorith.
I still have not gotten an Onyx.
Nope,
and I've done like 8 raids in a row today.
Standard rates for Laleep and Anorith, 1 in 450. I got a Laleep.
I got an Anorith today.
And Adam, you got fucking...
Has 3 of each.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, hold on.
Fuck?
Let me actually see, because I might have more.
Oh my god.
You have so many, you don't even know how many you got.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Now I don't care because we have potential unlimited trades during GoFest. So,
really?
So if that's the case, I'm getting some. So it's all good. I don't care. I don't care that I didn't catch it. I got,
I need a shiny treat.
No, it's just the 3.
Oh, just the 3.
Just
the 3.
Womp, womp.
But I gotta say, I think that as far as the spawn rates were concerned, I mean, it was like 90% Adventure Week spawns. And the spawns were everywhere. And I loved it. I thought it was really cool.
It was like Community Day spawns.
Yeah, like they're freaking everywhere. And to the point where like I'm running through resources and losing, I ran out of balls. Like,
Niantic wants you to empty out your shit right before fucking GoFest, so you have to pay them to load it back up.
I'm not buying balls. Spinning stops. I think Terry Wolf said that he went to a new area outside of Chicago and spun something like 400 new stops.
Oh my god.
So he I don't know, he raked in over 1 million XP in one night just from spinning stops.
That's crazy.
He crushed it. So it's I mean, this was a great event. I think that how comprehensive it was with increased spawns, special spawns, shiny spawns, bonuses with Adventure Sync, bonuses with Buddy Candy. It was just awesome. I think this was a great event. I mean, I don't know. I would love if they did more events like this because it seemed like it really brought a lot of people out and about, more so than like a single raid day. Yeah, that's going to be exciting for 1 hour or 3 hours. It just seemed like everyone is out there grinding all week, which was really, really cool. And I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this event. I mean, it's still going for us for a couple days, but like I said, by the time you hear this, it'll be just wrapping up. And then we're gonna be at GoFest. So it wraps up and then GoFest. So I'd assume that global challenges will be coming back during the GoFest window, starting on that Thursday, the 13th. So you could probably have 2 days off of events, and then the global challenge will kick in, and
then they're back.
And we'll be off to the races again. So I'm really excited. But I really like this event. Adam, what did you think overall?
I have enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's good.
And I went for a long run, and I haven't been running for a while. So this is oh man, I gotta push through this. And then like I got done and I was like, oh man, my adventure, like it's not calculating all my eggs. Like for some reason it just wasn't, I don't know, maybe it's because I have the watch on, but something wasn't working right. But I was trying so hard to like get the 3 candies, and I was running with my my deli bird, so missed opportunity. But so whatever. But it made me like go back to like one section and just keep running because like I knew that the Evolve Lily tasks were in the graveyard, so I just kept like running back and forth through the graveyard until all the eggs hatched and I got all the rewards and I could claim everything and then I could get those extra tasks. So I've had so much fun, and it's like I'm just getting shinies, so I guess I'm one of the lucky ones.
Ugh, I guess so. No. You know why I like this event? Because I was able to finish Meltan.
Oh, yes!
I was stuck with a fucking Ketchel, or Anorith, or a Kabuto or Ammonite since the event ended. Since the event ended originally, I could not catch those 2 fucking Pokemon.
And now you're done. Yay.
And now I'm done.
Clear.
It's
clear.
I'm so happy.
And now we're going to have Jirachi
guys,
special
I played
research.
a game.
Well, I'm proud of Melissa. She played a lot this week.
I did.
And this will kind of lead right into Slakoth Community Day because while I was stuck at work, Melissa actually went out to the beach, went to the boardwalk and played.
I went and did Community Day all by my lonesome self.
You did it.
Joshy.
You did it.
Well, I wasn't lonesome self. But yeah, I went and I did Community Day.
Adam, why don't you run us through the bonuses and stuff that we had for Community Day? You recall them offhand?
So you got, whatever 3-hour lures. You got quarter egg hatch distance.
Nice.
Yeah, I did.
So
hatch
that
a
was
shit ton
like
of eggs.
That was the biggest one.
And then we got Body Slam, which surprised maybe
no
some
one.
people. Well, it's like, look, was it Taiwanese Pokemon Go account kind of dropped the bomb on that and then retracted it really quick. People were hoping for that fast move, but it would have made Slakoth super OP. But get this shit. So in Europe, about an hour into the event, a little less than an hour into the event, the weather functionality globally in Pokemon Go went offline. So you would not see a weather icon on the top. You weren't going to get any weather spawns, but I guess Community Day spawns are somehow tied to the weather, because when the weather went down in the European region, all the Slakoth spawns went away.
Oh no.
And for the remaining 2 hours of the event, they said it was like a normal day, normal biome spawns, and the internet lit up. People were pissed, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. And Niantic immediately acknowledged that the weather functionality was down, but made no mention that it had any effect on Slakoth Community Day. So people were losing their shit. They're like, what's going on here? The day is ruined. It was pretty fucked up because it was overwhelmingly obvious that the weather had also taken Slakoth offline. So they kept talking about weather, Niantic support, right? Then to add insult to injury.
Whether you guys liked it or not.
Yeah, well, listen to this shit. This is what pissed people off. I've got a tweet here from Liam219577071, right? And he just says, to Niantic help, why are there no Slakoth spawning in Europe, right? This is Niantic support's response. And I know it's a big company. There's thousands and thousands of tweets to Niantic support with tons of responses, but this is the response he gets. Thanks for reaching out, Liam. Community Day featured Pokemon Slakoth are still out there and available for the event period. Explore areas such as parks and popular locations with more Pokestops that have a chance of coming across these spawns. Keep us posted.
Oh my god.
So it was like it almost...
That's like spend more money on lures, drop them.
But it seemed like they
didn't even read his...
Yeah, but like they knew that it was fucking with Slakoth, but they just sidestepped it. It was like a serious sidestep. Totally fucked up. I definitely feel for you, Europe. And this is also Europe, Middle East, and Africa, that whole region. And then finally, the end of the event, Niantic support puts out a tweet saying, trainers, we are aware of gameplay issues that impacted the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region during Community Day. Please stay tuned for a future announcement that includes the return of Slakoth later this summer. Thank you for your patience.
So I wonder if they're going to give Europe their own like
A makeup day.
redo.
Yep, they're
community
going to have
day.
like a makeup day. This was similar to, I believe,
Articuno.
Was it Articuno that got
I
messed
believe it
up?
was Articuno Day.
That
Yeah.
they had to redo the whole day because it was shot. But like they did, this tweet came at the end of the event.
Maybe they didn't realize it.
Fuck, I realized that I'm fucking sitting in my underwear at home or whatever. You know, it's like that. This was all over the internet. Like everyone was complaining. Like
Maybe there was nothing they could do about it, so they just
but
avoided it.
they got to. I mean, look, you got to acknowledge it. You got, and it's like
Maybe they were frantically trying to, and they didn't want to just say we're trying.
No, but they should have. That's what they should have. Hey, like saying we're aware. Like, look at the first line of the response. Trainers, we're aware of gameplay issues impacted. That's all they need to say. We're working on an issue. Even if they didn't know that Slakoth was going to come back, you got to acknowledge it. You got to say, hey,
Yeah.
we stubbed our toe. Our
Yeah.
toe fucking hurts right now. We're working on a way to make our boo-boo feel better. It's like that. It's just, you got to do something. You got to say something because the inactivity pissed people off more than anything else. It's like, look, I understand shit happens. I know that I'm sure that Clefairy's at that computer desk, like fucking pressing buttons frantically, trying to fix things. I get it, but they got to acknowledge it. So it definitely sucked for the European people of Middle East, Africa. Hopefully they'll get another Slakoth day, but yikes.
And for us, Ken, did you notice an increase in like weather boosted spawns during Community Day?
Well, here's my Community Day experience, right? I'm at work because it was a Saturday, right? So I have the phone on. I drop my lucky egg. I drop my incense. I drop, whatever I can. Star piece. 3 o'clock comes on. Three of them spawn at my desk. I'm like, cool. Let me check these out. Click on the first one. Normal Slakoth. Next one I click on, shiny. I go, holy shit, this never happens. Third one I click on, shiny. Holy shit, 3:01 p.m. I had 2 shiny Slakoth. By 6 p.m., I had 2 shiny Slakoth. So it was like I completely had all my shiny activity within the first minute of the event. I ended up catching 30 over the course of the event at work, which is good for me because I don't have a lot of area to move around. I'm not really in an overwhelmingly high density, spawn point or anything like that, just from my lures and stuff. I mean, from my incense. So I caught 30, had 2 shinies in the first 2 minutes. Melissa, what did you end with?
I ended with 6 shiny.
That's legit.
Yeah.
And Adam, what about you?
I ended with 12.
Nice.
Did you do Lowe's parking lot?
Yes. Yep.
Damn, the Lowe's is legit.
Yeah, see, and I did Community Day somewhere completely different. Instead of going to Red Bank like we normally do, I took Josh to Belmar, and we walked the boardwalk. And I thought it was going to be a good spot to go because the whole boardwalk is one straight shot, and there's gyms and stops the entire time. Well, I got down there and nobody was playing. It was the craziest thing. Nobody was playing and nothing was lured up, and I had no lures. And frickin' Josh, when we get in the car, I'm going like, man, I really wish we would have had more spawns. We probably would have got more shinies if this was lured up. He's like,
Mom, I have a bunch of
lures. He's
lures.
like, I have 15 of them. I was like, are you kidding me, Josh? Like, we walked up and down this, like, we could have fucking drove to the end, lured everything up, drove to the other end.
3 hours. They would have stayed the whole time.
And we could have, I wanted them.
So when we went out to play today, me and Josh, right? And we're on foot doing a little raid train. And we're walking through Red Bank and we're passing stops. And he's like, hold on, I got to lure these up real quick. I go, no, don't lure them. We're not staying here. We're moving. He's like, no, I want to do it for everyone else that's playing.
Mother.
And I'm like, oh, Mom would kill you right now. Did
you stop him?
No, he dropped him. He spent 2 lures.
All right, 2 is okay.
Yeah, he was like, it's a double stop. It was outside of School of Rock. Time. He's like, it's a double stop.
Well, we're doing that same place. I'm going to.
It's a beautiful area. I mean, it's a brand new, like, nice teak boardwalk that they just put in.
It's a brand new boardwalk on the beach.
It's legit.
Awesome.
It's nice. Yeah, we'll see. Next Community Day is on a Sunday, which is exciting for me. I'm sure it'll be Mudkip. That's my guess.
I like Mudkip, actually.
Maybe what you know about my Mudkips. And
can we talk about shiny Slakoth colors?
Yeah.
Because I love that he's pink and his evolutions. The fuck is that shit?
She puts in the Discord a picture of the Slaking with just like a WTF.
I don't understand.
And it was funny because I'm like, Did she not look at any of the pictures
No.
posted?
No, I don't.
The internet has access to these photos way ahead of time.
Just like I don't watch trailers to movies for the movies that I want to see. Like, I didn't look.
No, but Slakoth's shinies, they get progressively shittier. The Slakoth is awesome. It's bright. It's vibrant. Completely different. Vigoroth, okay, it's like this weird creamy eggshell color.
No, it's stupid.
And then by the time it reaches Slacking, it's like his mane is a little bit different, but...
It's like his nose is a different color. Are you fucking kidding me? They should have made that bitch bright pink. Dark magenta with his chesty, like, light pink.
That would have been
And
awesome.
his nose green. Like, they could have made him green. A green monkey. That would have been awesome.
He's not a monkey.
He's a gorilla.
He's a sloth guy.
He's
thing.
He's a bulky sloth.
When he gets big.
I don't know. Yeah, it is a lame shiny, though. I mean, and look, there's plenty of shinies out there that are just a tinge off, a shade off, but...
I hate that.
But why have such a difference from the Slakoth? Pink. Where'd the pink go?
I know. Keep it pink.
But look at something like Charmander. You know, shiny Charmander's yellow, completely different than orange. Shiny, Charmeleon is not that far off, and then you go black and gray when you get shiny Charizard.
And that's awesome.
Right, but like, why they? Yeah, I feel you, and yeah, I guess it's. I would want
I think
a
that
pink one.
if it's gonna be a shiny, it needs to be a drastic color change. That's makes it fucking awesome. That's what makes it unique, and because it literally isn't shining. The only thing that is making it fun is that the fucking color change. That's the whole fucking reason. So if you're not going to change a fucking color, then fuck you. Why are you going to even put out why are you going to make it shiny?
All right, Pokemon Company person that made shiny Slakoth back in the day.
You're fucked. You stupid.
Get fucked.
You dumb boy.
Oh my god.
You could have made him
awesome.
orange.
I think anything would have been better than
Orange,
what it
dude.
is, because it's the same. It's the same. All right, Legendary Raid Hours. This was announced right after we were done recording last week. This is coming from PokemonGoLive.com. Every Wednesday in June, so we already had one, from 6 to 7 p.m. local time, increased Tier 5 raids. These are fun. We have Cresselia on the 5th and the 12th, so we already had the 5th, and we have Kyogre on the 19th and 26th. So it's just a bunch of a bunch of Tier 5 raids happening during this hour. Could this potentially be the first step towards having raids spawn later in the day? Because it goes, they go hard till 7.
Who knows?
I hope so, because
who knows?
it's usually dried up completely in my area by 7 o'clock. Like, there might be one straggler, maybe. So it was really cool and it was funny because I had to change my day off of work to cover for somebody. So I happened to be off. Normally I would have been working, and I was able to play, which was really exciting. So only got 5 or so in. We had about a dozen people, and we had a dozen people. We did 5 raids. Only one person in one of the raids got a shiny. No shinies for anybody else. So it was like we just had absolute shitty luck in our group, but definitely cool.
We had a lot of shiny luck in our group.
Did you?
Somebody got shinies back to back.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, and then Chanel got 2.
Nice.
Oh man.
I was like, you're gonna trade one?
Shiny
with me, right?
Cresselia is great looking too. It's one of the cooler shinies, like pastel-y, transparent. Really cool. Really cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice
It's a pretty
green.
one.
All right, guys. GoFest is in a couple of days.
Oh my God.
Can you freaking believe it?
No.
I'm excited.
Gosh, no, for Community Day, I was like, I gotta go through stuff. I gotta delete stuff. Because my box was literally like 2 Pokemon away from being full. And we were all yelling in the Discord they're like, oh, you gotta get rid of stuff. You gotta get rid of stuff. And so I got my box down 100 spaces.
That's it?
And every one of them hurt.
What? I ended up, I didn't check IVs. I said, I don't have time for this. I deleted 500. I transferred 500 Pokemon from my my most recent, and I had 500 Pokemon, and I pretty much got myself all the way back to my Snorlaxes. So from when Snoozing Snorlax was gone, I had 500 ahead of that. So but what I had to do was since the game came out, if I had a Pokemon that had at least one perfect IV, I would keep it. I would start and I would keep it. And now I don't really care about IVs unless it's shitty for PvP or perfect. So I went and unstarred all of my Pokemon that weren't perfect, but I had like 1 or 2 perfect IVs and cleared them out. That hurt because some of them were older. But I mean, like I was holding on to like 3 Butterfree or, just evolved
everything
forms,
that I'm
like
holding on
2
to
Nidokings. It's like, I don't need
It's like
2.
2017, so I'm like, oh, that's, eventually that's going to be a free lucky trade,
No, I was just like, fuck it, I gotta get this shit out of here. So I think going into GoFest, I'll be able to go into GoFest at about 1,500 of 2,000. And that'll be a nice gap, a nice window that I'll be able to catch a couple hundred Pokemon each day and clear them out at the end of the day. So I think that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, it's
100 isn't
really
enough,
nice
Adam.
to be
You're
able
going to have to get rid of more. And I mean, I
know,
have like 50 Delibirds for you. So like once I get rid of those, it's going to be even more room.
Well, that's the thing. I have a bunch of Delibirds that I got to get rid of, but I'm also being traded a bunch of Delibirds.
Yeah, everybody's like, Adam, I got a Delibird for you.
I'm going to have so many Delibirds.
All right, GoFest prep. DTC, which is the Chicago community, put together a really cool visitors guide for Chicago. I'll link to it in the description. This is Dude Knife, who runs the Discord there, and Count Jinsula, who we had on our first YouTuber roundtable. They kind of talk about the layout of Grant Park, the areas of Grant Park. They show Grant Park, really beautiful flower gardens and cool sculptures and shit. Stuff I didn't really know was there. So there's going to be a really nice backdrop to play. Friday night, guys, the Maripup. That's the meetup that we're having at Monk's Pub. The link will be in the description. We're probably over capacity already, but I don't care. Come out and party. It's going to be a freaking madness. We're having a tournament. It's going to be a good time. So Friday, we're going to be at the event itself. We'll be there from 9 a.m. on. And then, as soon as we're done and home and showered and recouped, we'll be at Monk's Pub. I'll be knocking back the Shirley Temples. Melissa said she's getting trashed.
Yeah.
So it should be a lot of fun, guys. So come buy Melissa drinks.
Please.
So.
Many. Just keep me off the floor, please.
And then Saturday we'll be chilling. This is what I'm really, really looking forward to. We still don't know if the park is going to be fenced in. So I don't know if you're going to need tickets to get in. We might be able to schmooze our way in with media because we have media for Friday, so we might be able to get in if it's gated, but I don't know how that's actually going to work, if it's going to be open like Lincoln Park last year. I hope it is. If it is, we'll probably make our way to the park on Saturday as well, just to chill, but we'll be hanging out all day Saturday, and then Saturday night we'll be at the Sylph Road after party. So if you're going to that, definitely hit us up. The best thing, what I can recommend is just message us on Twitter. If you want to hook up, you want to say hello, you want to meet us, just hit us up on Twitter and we'll make it happen. We'll definitely come say hi. And I have here in the notes for Saturday, Melissa plans on being drunk the entire day.
Yes.
She pretty much told me she wanted to be drunk the entire time.
Yeah.
But let's limit it to just Saturday.
No, just Saturday. I'll start Friday night. And then we'll go into like Saturday.
Well, Saturday night is the Sylph party.
Well,
so.
that's what I'm saying. We'll go into like Saturday. I'll have to take a big nap.
I'll be driving home Sunday first shift. So I'll take the first shift of the drive so you can at least sleep in the car.
Time.
I know. I'm going to end up driving the whole way.
Home.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yep,
I'm so hyped.
sleeping.
Adam, are you ready? Did you buy a plane ticket, man?
No, he didn't.
You didn't do it, did you?
Adam?
What?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like 3 days away.
Wait, when's
Fuck,
GoFest?
all right, I'll get on it right now.
We're moving on. We
Keep
need to
going.
end this podcast so that Melissa can bitch at Adam.
No,
like,
so
like
I can
a
buy
mother.
Adam a freaking plane ticket. Let's go.
All right, voicemails. I got a voicemail here from Jacket K, who brought up a really good point. I'm going to play it here, but I'm ultimately going to end up putting this in from Jacket. So,
Oh man, I'm excited.
All right, let's play it here.
Here we go.
Hey, it's Jackie K. I was listening to the podcast not too long ago, and I got thinking about something because I'm actually surprised of how many people were disappointed by the turnout for the extraordinary raid event and all. Thinking about it, like, raid spawns were okay for me. I mean, like, nothing in the text said that the spawns were going to be increased minus the 1 hour, so I guess I just didn't get my hopes up. Still, that got me thinking about what this event needed to really be something special, and I came up with a question in the process. If you were in charge of making the extraordinary raid event, and you could pick any Pokemon you want for tiers 1, 2, 3 and 4, at least within the reason of things that normally would be put into those tiers, what Pokemon would you pick and why?
So, good question, Jackie K. Thanks for writing us in, or voicemailing us in. So, I think that the key here is they got to be shiny Pokemon that could be potentially shiny. Because I think that, you know, in addition to raid volume of just increased raids, there has to be some additional incentive of wanting to do those raids if they're not going to be legendary. So you said, you know, 1 through 4. I love what they already have with tier 1 because they're very accessible. You could solo them no problem. And usually tier 1 is all potential shinies. Now, when it comes to 2, 3, 4, that's where you can kind of get creative. You know, we've had some like stuff in tier 4 like Mawile and Absol, and why they can be shiny, we've always had them.
Yeah, they're boring. We're
Like,
bored
it's-
of them already.
And I don't even have the shinies, but it's like,
You don't have Mawile?
no,
No.
man, no.
Oh my
neither
god, I
do
have
I.
like 3 or 4, so I'll
Stop.
definitely
All right,
trade you
give
one
me
of those.
one.
No, I think that tier 4 is really probably the biggest opportunity for them to do something cool and different and, you know, do something where a tier 4 third evolution Pokemon could be shiny. Like, give us Aggron, but allow the Aggron to be shiny. Give us, you know, things that we have out there like Slakoth, but make the third evolution be able to be shiny. Give us Slacking. So I think that that's kind of where I would go with it. I would make if I'm going to do an event, make them all potential shinies, even the third evolutions, because I think that's what this game lacks. Where you could do some of these third evolutions, like Gengar could be in raids, but Gengar can't be shiny in raids. It's
So
like,
who's
which
going to
is
want to do
stupid.
that?
right? Give us the ability
Give us
for
a
that
reason.
Pokemon to be shiny, and that'll be enough incentive for me to want to do that more so than just a normal everyday. Adam, what do you think? You think are shinies the key here?
That's a loaded question because I want like a level 3 Delibird.
Adam.
But no, I agree with that. Like if you had Golem, because Golem's not uncommon to see in raids, make that shiny.
Yeah.
Make that the ability to be shiny. Same thing with Tyrannitars. We've had Tyrannitars forever. Give us the effing shiny.
Yeah. I think that's the key. Melissa, you think so too? Shinies?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that, Jacket, I think that shinies are definitely the way to go when it comes to this, because the Pokemon itself, I think, isn't necessarily as important as that allure of it being shiny. And I think that...
Or sidestep, if they gave us these raid days, give us the exclusive community day move.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For people that have
Yeah.
missed out on it.
Ooh.
That's the only
Yeah.
other thing I can think of.
Yeah.
What if there's a chance to get the exclusive move?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
No.
What if there's a chance during these raid days to get the community day HM to change
An existing
one of those
one
Pokemon?
as a reward?
Yeah.
See, now you're talking a whole new thing.
Yeah, that's
Now
a
you're
whole
talking
Well,
about
I don't know. Listen,
He's got
this
the
is a great
tinfoil
question,
hat.
and I'm just trying to go in every direction
No, I mean,
possible because that's how my brain works.
No,
right?
I think that's good though, because there just has to be increased incentive, because sometimes just a normal increase in raids just isn't enough. I think there's got to be an additional incentive. For many people, it's the shiny. I mean, if an exclusive move though, that's a good point. So maybe they bring back like what they did with Lapras Day with the legacy moves. It's like that got people really excited to do Lapras. Lapras isn't that exciting on its
Give
own.
us Legacy Gengar. Like I would honestly do that.
Yeah, or Mewtwo comes back with Shadow Ball. Hell yeah!
I was looking back at a lot of my older Pokemon that I caught, and I'm like, oh, I clearly changed the move on that one.
Yeah, yep.
Like, no reason to. I just did.
And now you're beat.
Right. Like, my Amistar is from really old, and I changed it to Hydro Pump, so I know that I effed up there. I know that I messed it up. Because I was like, oh man, how cool is it to have a Water Gun Hydro Pump Amistar?
Yeah, but how
that's
could you
100%.
know that? How could you know though? You don't know that a move is going to go Legacy, but
Right?
and we didn't have double moves back then. So you put yourself in that situation unbeknownst. All right, community question. This one from Just Jack. He says, question for this week. Why have Niantic made it so difficult to get involved with PvP? With high Stardust costs and extra moves and no in-app way to accurately identify IVs or what CP a Pokemon will be when it evolves, this means you could waste precious candy, if you're a more casual player, it definitely puts a lot of people off taking part. It's similar in the main series games with breeding being extremely time consuming, so maybe it's a Pokemon Company thing. The actual game is quite easy to understand, which makes it frustrating when you can't take part because you don't have enough Stardust, etc. Why would Niantic want these barriers to entry? Great question, Just Jackman. I think this is a big deal because of all the systems in the game, raiding, gymming, trading, however you want to look at it, PvP is the most daunting. It's the most difficult to break into and feel comfortable breaking into. My solution? Matchmaking. It's got to be matchmaking, because with matchmaking, it's going to allow casual players to have instant accessibility to battles. Not caring about IVs, not caring about true competition, just the ability to hit one button and have a battle. And I think that just that would open the door to so many more people to try out PvP. It's not about having to hit Ultra with someone. You know, you got to remember, there's kids out there like my son that don't have any friends list because the game won't let them. It's like, it sucks. It sucks so bad. So it's like, my solution here, it's got to be matchmaking, because if they...
Listen, you're going to get mad at me for saying it, but Draconia's Go has this.
Well,
I mean, there is no PvP except for matchmaking.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's just like Jurassic World, like we were talking about with IAMRYZN. It's you hit a button and you within 2 minutes or less, you're battling somebody. I think that accessibility opens the door. It just makes it that much easier to get into. And you're still going to have your Sylph Arena tournaments for the hardcore where you're worried about typings and best moves and what to switch and all this shit. That's for the hardcore. You want people to be accessible, you got to make it accessible to everybody. Just having the gate behind Ultra Friends is enough to cut a ton of people out of the whole market. So I think that matchmaking is the absolute key to breaking down this barrier, and I hope it's coming.
Or make the cost for like a new move just a little bit less. Have like events where that's something.
Oh, what about the glitch in the Matrix last week where second charge moves cost 25 candy only? Remember that? There was there was a small window of time where I forget when it happened. It was right when Adventure Week started.
I remember people saying stuff about it, but I remember looking and I didn't.
Yeah,
it was already back to the way it was supposed to be.
You can upgrade a legendary's move rather than it costing 100 candy. It only costs 25. So people were like, getting that extra move on Rayquaza, getting that extra move on Kyogre or Mewtwo, and only had to pay 25 candy, because candy on it for legendaries is a lot. It's a hot commodity. All right, couple bits of miscellaneous news here. Pokestop submissions are now live in Germany and parts of France, right on the border of Germany. This is now like the 15th, 16th, 17th country this is available in. India, Denmark, Taiwan, Latin America, Indonesia, Peru, Vietnam, Argentina, Chile, Thailand, Mexico, Brazil, South Korea. So like there's tons of places. This is good news, because that means it's just one step closer to coming to the rest of Europe and then North America and the US. When that does, rural players, man, this is what you guys have been waiting for. So I'm very excited. Let's see. Adventure Week avatar items are available in the shop. They kind of look like there's two styles. One's very like Steve Irwin, Lara Croft, and one is kind of like let's go on a hike kind of picnic thing. They're really cool. The winners were announced for the Go Snapshot Challenge for all 3 different challenges. Really, really cool photos and winners for each of them. I'll link to that in the description if you want to check them out. Let's jump over to a Go Ranger check-in.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger check-in.
Cresselia raids are ending on June 18th. Kyogre is coming next, so June 18th to the 27th will be Kyogre. Remember, those 2 remaining legendary raid hours for June will be Kyogre. Spin to number 4 quest. Make 5 great curveball throws in a row. July 1st ends. I still have not seen this quest.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No one in my community has seen this quest. Nowhere.
Yeah, I have not seen this.
It's ridiculous. And then someone in our Discord was like, oh, I got it right now. So it's like, it's out there. Just not by me. And then Go Fest, June 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So guys, it's happening. Oh, and if anyone follows us on Facebook, you might notice some funky stuff going on with the name of our Facebook page. So listen to this. We converted all our social media over from Gotta Watch 'Em All to Pokemon Professor or Pokemon Professor Network, right? So Facebook has a bot system that manages and approves changing the name of your Facebook page. So I was able to change the the URL, no problem, right? But I go to change the name of the page from Gotta Watch 'Em All to Pokemon Professor, and it gets denied. And it says, you're trying to change your page to something that would make your fans not recognize who you are. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I put in an appeal. I say, no content is changing, just the name. It's all botted, so it didn't work. So I do some digging, right? I find out that the workaround is you can change one word of a name at a time, and the bots will accept it. So what I did was, on one day, it was Gotta Watch 'Em All. The next day, it was Gotta Watch 'Em All Pokemon. The next day, it was Gotta Watch 'Em All Pokemon Professor. The next day, it was Gotta Watch 'Em Pokemon Professor. Then it's Gotta Pokemon Professor. And now I'm finally on the last day to get the gotta away. So if you see a weird name for our Facebook page, that's why. Hopefully it'll be approved sooner than later, and we'll be
Man, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So like when you looked at our story, like the name of it was like Gotta Watch 'Em Pokemon Professor. Like it was kind of funky, but if you notice that, that's why. And one thing I do want to promote here, our next roundtable is going to be coming Saturday, June 29th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll put a link in the description. It's going to be streamed on YouTube. The video on demand will be available on YouTube. Then it'll be available as a podcast. The topic this time, podcasting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Listen to this lineup. Adam is going to be representing Gotta Watch 'Em All. We've got Nar, maybe Salt from Pokemon Go Radio. Chris from GoCast Podcast. We're going to have Thatch from the Puckle Podcast, which is a long time running Pokemon show. We'll probably have Kyle from Victory Road, Jolly from Blast Burn Radio, SBJ from It's Super Effective is going to be joining us on the roundtable, and Danny from Dead Draw Gaming on the TCG side coming to represent. It's going to be a full house. This is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get all of these type A personalities and blabbermouths in a room all together. It's going to be great.
Blabbity.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll put a link to that in the description, Saturday, June 29th. But guys, that's a show.
We did it.
Are you ready for GoFest?
I'm not.
Yes.
Nope.
I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm so ready. I'm so fucking ready. And then Friday morning, we're off to the races.
You guys aren't ready.
I'm ready.
You ready for this?
Adam's not ready.
I'm gonna get Adam
Not
ready
at
right
all.
now.
All right, everyone. We got to get off this show so we can force Adam to buy.
Yeah, we gotta plan
tickets.
this trip here.
Yes. Well, we're planned.
We're
not.
ready.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I'm just the only one that hasn't.
Yeah. All right. You can email us, info@luredup.com. Leave us a voicemail just like Jackie K did, 732-835-8639. Please leave us a review in iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you're allowed to leave reviews. I don't know, but mainly Apple Podcasts. That would really, really help us a ton. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, take a moment, give us a review. We would appreciate it. And that's pretty much going to wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
That's a poker wrap.
I guess we're going to be recording some stuff at GoFest, so we'll talk to you guys then.
Bye.
Keep training, trainers.
Bye.